introduce myself a little bit. I've been in clinical research for over 35 years. Now it's close to 40. And it started out as a coordinator in academia and then moved into industry as a monitor, study manager, had quality roles, quality oversight, site selection specialist, so a variety of things before I went independent in 2012 and now focus mostly on training, but I do independent consulting in the quality arena. So that's very quickly my history. Okay, so today basically we're looking to meet these objectives. We're going to go through and try to understand the GCP standards, the basics really, what are most critical to your jobs as clinical researchers. We're going to explain the role of quality systems in the GCP environment, which is all important now, especially with the ICH E6 revision 2, where there's really an emphasis on let's do that root cause analysis when we have an issue, and let's come up with some CAPAs, Corrective and Preventive Actions. So again, we should have been doing this all along, but now it's even more, I guess, stressed even more by that guidance that came out, and the FDA has adopted that as official guidance for them as well. And then we're going to look at the good clinical practices through critical thinking in the context of what does it mean in the real world clinical research environment. And we're going to go through the concepts of root cause analysis and actually writing these CAPAs, and that's what your cases are going to be at the end of this, the second part of this module. Basically what we're going to do is have you work on, each group will work on 2 cases. You'll be asked to do root cause analysis, come up with CAPAs. So there'll be real hands-on experience and practice with that. So before we go into this, I'd like to just open the lines up again and just ask generally, what did you expect to get from this, or what do you expect to get from this particular session? That's part one of the question. Part 2 is, for those of you who are actually coordinating and those that are in the quality arena, I'd like to know what kind of experience do you have already with writing CAPAs, doing root cause analysis, that sort of thing. So I know it's a 2-part question and there's 15 of you, but just get a general sense. I know everybody will probably be at different areas, at different stages, but if someone could give me a sense, or if you all want to chip in and speak for yourselves, that's fine too.
I guess I'm looking at it as with GCP, there are a lot of times, like you said, the critical thinking. You're presented with a question or a problem, and it comes down to then each one has a different answer sometimes as to how you apply the principles of GCP. And I figured that this was going to be a class that is going to take you through some of those processes.
Okay, great. Okay, anyone else?
We have written CAPAs up here and do root cause analysis for a lot of, not a lot, but, for issues that may arise. The group that many of us are with, Clinical Research Services, has been in existence for 20, 30 years. So we have a wide range of expertise and people that have been here doing this for a long time.
Great.
And we do have some that are new to the situation. So we do have some that are kind of getting started in research, are put in leadership roles, and so these are some new principles and workarounds that they're going to be exposed to.
And in terms of the types of root cause analysis that you employ, we're going to go through a lot of these 5 whys, fishbone, and all this. Do you all use different types, or do you fall back to usually just one? I just kind of want to have a handle on what methodologies you use or you're most familiar with.
I don't think that we use one, or whatever we use, we know what the name of it is. It's usually just you kind of keep asking why and work your way down.
That's the 5 whys. Okay, so we're going to see some of the things that maybe you haven't used and different ways of approaching things, and maybe that'll be something new for everybody. Okay, very good. So first we take a look at what we call the foundation of GCP, if you will, and why do we do things? What's our ethical code? So if we start right at the bottom of this pyramid, we'll start to, and then we build up. We're going to see how we apply and how we ensure these principles and regulations. So we have the ethical principles. What everything is kind of based on is right back from the Declaration of Helsinki and the Nuremberg Code. So for those of you who might not be familiar with that, as a result of Nazi war crimes in terms of the medical experimentation that was done during World War II, the Nuremberg Trials occurred. The Nuremberg Code emanated from that. And for those of you who might not be, I'm always surprised because I always think everybody knows about this, but then I always have somebody in the room who sometimes doesn't know. So just briefly, there were medical experiments carried out on folks, and there was no informed consent. And by the way, informed consent was not a thing at that time. It was not something that was ever done, really, even in general medical research. But again, these Nazi war crimes were done, and in terms of the experimentations that were done, a lot of them were done to the point of, okay, for example, let's take some folks and see the effects of hypothermia. Let's see how long it takes for somebody to freeze to death, and let's see what the effect is on their body. So again, these were not done with the high principles of helping mankind and putting the patient or the subject at the center of things and making sure that the risk didn't outweigh the benefit, all of the things that we kind of look at today. So again, with these cruel and very not subject or patient-centric experimentations that went on, they were Nazi war crimes. There was a Nuremberg trial. Out of that came a Nuremberg Code. From that, we get the World Medical Association, and then the Declaration of Helsinki. And this is where we start to see informed consent as a concept and as actually something we need to obtain before doing research. So this is where we're getting our ethical principles. That's really our base.